stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, everyone. Kelly, a roll call the commission, please.
Chris Burkhalter.
Present.
Larry Marshall.
Present.
Doug Mail.
Here.
Sarah Burkhalter.
Here.
Michael Slater.
Here.
Okay, we have a quorum, so we can conduct business. Missing is Dwayne, Jenke, and
Audrey.
Audrey Bach. Approval of the agenda is next. Does anyone have any changes, or is there a motion to approve said agenda tonight?
I move to approve as submitted. Support.
Motion and support. All in favor?
Aye.
Those opposed? None. Motion carries. Next is approval of the June 19, 2025 meeting minutes, of which I noticed no changes necessary. Though I wasn't here, I did read them carefully, and I watched the YouTube, which is a handy thing to have to refer back to. Does anyone have any changes? Or a motion is in order?
Make a motion to approve as submitted?
Support.
Motion and support. All in favor?
Aye.
Those opposed? None. Motion carries. Next is a call to the public limited to agenda items only. If anyone would like to speak this evening, same drill as always. Please keep your comments to 3 minutes and state your name and address.
Matt Ruprecht, 13799 12 Mile Road. I'm here today opposed to the Dove Lake PUD and requesting that you deny final approval. My reasons for opposing this have not changed, and my points from the last two meetings remain a concern, as well as some additional concerns I want to bring up tonight. I remain very concerned about the narrow lot width, lake safety, and the disparity between the existing development and the new proposed development, and the inconsistency with how this was sold to us. There's been zero progress towards an HOA. Tom has indicated that he will soon send out a formal notice for a meeting, but that hasn't happened yet. Similar to last month, I'm asking the board, please require an HOA to be formed before considering a final approval here. Other things, access road. A key point that Tom sold us on was an access road that connects the homes built on 12 Mile Road to a proposed future development. I've attached 3 documents that I'll show you. I'll show this proposed service drive. It's my understanding that the drawings don't have this, and it's imperative that any PUD honor this commitment. So please, if it's not in there, please question on that. Lot coverage. I know during the last meeting there was a request to increase the lot coverage from 25 to 40%. Tom's attorney argued that this is something that we should want, but he doesn't speak for us. Rather, that this is something that seems like a material change from the original PUD. At the same time, I'm going to show you here a flyer that Tom gave me when I purchased, and it shows the minimum house sizes, which really require larger estate-sized lots, and this seems to conflict with the preliminary PUD. I think it would be really difficult to achieve these housing standards with what was given. As far as inconsistencies goes, I continue to see inconsistencies when comparing the latest packet against Tom's website selling the properties, his communications to us current residents, and his communications to you. Tom's latest documents show banning several boat types from this new development, but his public-facing website doesn't. So that's something that's out there. I know as well, these pickleball courts, I know Tom mentioned in this form that he's going to put in pickleball courts, but once again, it doesn't show up in the drawings. So in a second here, I'll walk up and hand these to you guys. Here's our original flyer that we all received when we purchased that showed 2 to 5 acre lot sizes. Here's what it says, the Dove Lake minimum house sizes, which I think are bigger than what's contemplated. And then these 3 documents all show, and I've tried to highlight here, the proposed access drive that he drew on our properties. So appreciate the time and the consideration again tonight.
Thank you.
Thank you, Matt.
Yep.
We'll get copies made of these. Thank you, sir. Is there anyone else that wishes to speak?
Yes. Hi, my name is Bryce Hemker at 13785 12 Mile Road. I live next door to Matt. My drawing as well had an easement. We were told that we would have an easement to the new development that was over there. When I bought my property in 2019, it was a subdivision. That's what I was told. I was shown a neighborhood. It had houses on the lake, had a loop, had more houses around the other side. that was gonna be connected to our paved easement, so we'd have a paved way to go out to Kensington Road if you wish. That seems to all have gone by the wayside without any notification to us. My biggest, I guess, concern is that I live within 300 feet of this development, and I was never notified. I never got anything in the mail. I never got anything delivered to me. I never got a notification that's required, even during COVID. If you're within 300 feet of a PUD, you have to be notified in writing. I've never gotten anything. So I wasn't at the first meeting, so I wasn't at the preliminary meetings. I don't even have a current map of what the thing's supposed to look like now because I never had to sign one of those things. I never signed a thing about with all the houses on it. So, you know, I did a lot of research on it about the distance, and I have a map here with all the plots, 240 feet away from it, with no notification. So, couldn't even argue my point when this first started. From other things I read, again, I'm not a lawyer, I don't know, other things I read is that not giving that notice to someone that close can erase this whole thing. So, you know, not against the development, it's the density on the lake. It's what it does to our property values, especially being that close to it. So, I'd like you to please consider that. Thanks.
Thank you, sir. Is there anyone else that would like to speak? Again, state your name and address, please.
Avis Dorsey, 27203 North Dixter Road. As we know, this PUD or development on the lakes and seems to be having a lot of issues, a lot of things that have to be changed, adapted, and redone basically to meet the requirements or meet things that you guys would like to approve. With that being said, I was just kind of cruising through some of the building development codes, and I guess I would like to reference 12-258, which says PUD final development plan, conditional use and approval for PUD final development plan shall expire after 2 years from the date of approval if building permits have not been issued or construction began in a substantial portion of the project, which obviously he likes to tell us that this has been happening ever since we were building and doing everything. So apparently he got his PUD greater than 4 or 5 years ago. So we are, I guess I'm just asking, is there a way we can cancel this PUD, have him reapply and do something else that meets all the requirements and everything that everyone likes? And I guess, did he ever file for an extension? Because section D says extension. An extension of the time request not exceeding the to excess of the 2 years will be granted by the Board of County Commissioners. So I don't know if he ever got an extension. I don't know if he ever got any kind of other formal approval, but maybe it'd be a good idea just to cancel out the PUD, let him reapply and do something that's more passing everyone's so that we don't have to keep coming back and forth and having changes to all of this PUD that's already been going on for 4 or 5 years. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Dorsey. Is there anyone else that would like to speak? Yes, sir.
My name's Tom Shorter, I'm the applicant, and frankly, it's a little personally hurtful. My neighbors, people I've built houses for and live next to, coming up here and, I guess we'll say lying or not telling the truth. They signed documents that I have right here, they fully knew that this was going in before they bought their home, not after, before. Not that it should matter because obviously I'm staying within the code and and I bought the property. They didn't buy the property. You probably see it a lot of times, neighbors come up. But I have the documents, so I hand that to you. And did I miss one that didn't have the document signed? Well, right in the deed restrictions, it clearly says that there will be a new development. So, but everyone else here signed the documents, so I'll hand to you. Also, I always say respond to a couple of the things. These are the same size or larger as the Hidden Lake lots. Hidden Lake lots have a lot of 4,000 and 5,000 square foot homes on a 70-foot wide lot. Some of them even have 4, 5, 6 car garage. I built some with 6 car garage and 4,500 square feet homes. So they'll get, which is far bigger than any of their homes. To say that these will downsize is not true. And we all know that the cluster option is an option that's used to preserve open space, which is normal in this township and a lot of them. And this has been continually worked on, as Deb has said, we've been continually working on it. You know, as far as they talk about easement on there, those are parcels, split parcels with meets and bounds. And there is an easement on the front of their driveways. Nothing's changed. So that argument doesn't hold water at all either. But if I could, I'll pass out some. I only made 3 copies.
That's okay. You can have copies made.
And this one here, you can see the front page, right in the front page of the deed restrictions. The deed restrictions, which are different. It says there will be additional one. And then every single Mr. and Mrs. Laurie.
That's fine. We can make
Matt, his wife
copies.
signed that fully well, so he's just not true to say that he doesn't know about that, it's not true.
This is my stack to be kept and copied.
Here's several of them. Thank you.
Thank you, Tom. Okay, are there any other residents that would like to make public comment? Yes, sir?
So, we started things, we knew there's gonna be development, right? We all understood that. It's the density of the development and how it's all went from a subdivision when we bought our lots to.
Wait, name and address.
Oh, I already was up here.
Bryce.
Bryce Hemker.
Bryce, that's
Yeah. So, we all knew it was gonna be development, but it was a subdivision. That's what we were showing, subdivision. Had a loop, had a big courtyard in it and stuff. Not all the houses packed against the lake. That was part of the property value that we bought these lots for. Buy 2.5 acre lake, lot, and then have, little teeny tiny things. So, and I'm the one that did not sign that thing, and I'm the one that lives the closest to it. And so, just following procedures is all I'm asking for. I didn't have a chance to even, give my opinion on this thing. And it dragged over, this is my year. I couldn't make it to the last meeting. The meeting before that, I asked about it. And I was told, well, notice was on the door. But being where I live, I should have gotten something actually sent to me, so I could have argued. So, it's not what we're against. We all know there's development. It's just the density. It's the amount of houses on the lake, on the water. We were presented and sold lots based on projections of a neighborhood over there. And then with our easement locking into it, all of a sudden it's all gone. So that's our big concern.
Thank you, sir. One more? Please. Again, name and address.
Yes, Kayla Dorsey, address 27203 North Dixboro. So we are new parents, and as parents and a new mom, I'm very concerned about the safety of the lake. I don't know if this was discussed prior. I wasn't at the previous meeting, but there was a study done by the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers looking at safety and boat density of a lake. Our lake is almost just shy of 50 acres, and that study would show if it's an all-sports boat, it should be about 5 acres apiece, I think, or it was 5 to 10. Sorry, I'm trying to reference it here. All sports, it would be 10 to 12 acres for an all sports boat. So that would be putting about 5 to 6 boats, speedboats, if that was going to be the safety and density of the lake. It is a very small lake, so to put 37 more homes on it with access to different types of boats, I feel the safety of the lake itself would be a huge concern. So I wanted to express my concern on that and make sure that we are keeping everyone safe on our lake, especially because there are many children on the lake. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Dorsey. Is there anyone else who'd like to speak? If not, then we'll move into business items. Item A, recommend approval or denial to the Township Board for final review for Dove Lake, a residential planned unit development located on parcel number 4716-13-200-017. The property is currently zoned RE Residential Estates, 108.51 acres in size. Paul, would you like to bring us up to date with anything new that you have?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Not much new to report. As you have all seen this many times before, as you noted, this is a request for approval of the final PUD site plan. Your job as the planning commissioners is to make a recommendation to the Township Board, who has the ultimate authority to approve or deny a final PUD site plan. The preliminary was approved by the board in April of 2021. The preliminary plan sets the layout and the density. The final site plan should adhere to that layout and density, and provides more details. So generally, this is still 37 lots. The big deviation that we're seeing is that the applicant has shown 40% lot coverage on this plan that has been submitted to you, which is inconsistent with the underlying zoning and the approved preliminary plan.
What was the date of the preliminary approval again, please?
April 2021.
April 2021.
Okay. More?
No, that's essentially it. I'm happy to answer any questions that you have.
Okay. Rick, Mr. Minor, do you have additional comments from an engineering standpoint?
No additional comments, just wanted to make mention of if there is a motion to approve this evening, we would like to see the maintenance of that access piece from, Kensington Court into the Dove Lake property. We would like to see that addressed, and that can happen before the board takes action. And we would like to see the condo docks wrapped up, although, Paul, I believe those can be done administratively?
Yes.
Okay. But it should be mentioned in any motion. And I would like to thank Michelle at, forgive me, Michelle.
Powell Engineering.
Powell Engineering, thank you. We did have a number of cleanup items we wanted on the plans, and Michelle handled that beautifully, and I wanted to mention that.
I saw that a lot of things were updated and
Yeah.
somewhat quickly also, so.
Oh, yes, yeah,
Very good.
nicely done.
Okay. Tom, would the developer like to speak this? Your representatives? Come on up.
Yes, we do. We have
Come to the
everybody in
table.
our,
Come on up to the table.
Mind if we grab another chair?
Go right ahead.
This is Michelle Powell with Powell Engineering. This is Roger Myers with Myers attorney firm. So we'll hear, help get everything answered out so we can get an approval tonight.
Is there anything else that you would like to add to these discussions?
I would very much like to start. Mr. Schroeder came to me back in 2018 and told me what he would like to do. We started very early on. We had a conceptual plan with a committee that was put together to make sure that they understood what we're looking to do, what we'd like to do, what Mr. Schroeder would like to do. So we submitted the first set of plans in the middle of 2019. Those plans had a couple of revisions. We met with everything that the Planning Commission and the Township Board liked. We got rave comments, no lashback at all. Not one person showed up against the development back when it went to preliminary. At that time, he was still splitting the side along the mile roads. Obviously, I completely understand where the residents along 12 Mile and the crossroads are coming from. Nobody likes to see areas developed, especially when they are used to them being open areas. I do think that, actually, I'm fairly certain that Tom did share with them that the development was happening because he had to get approval from them for some easements and some information that he had to get approvals from them for and let them know that it was going in. I don't know the depth of that discussion. I don't know the detail. I do want to point out to them, and I feel, as much as nobody likes to see development, my personal home, we just had 188 multiple units put within 1 mile of my house on a road that doesn't move. It's a parking lot. So I completely understand where they're coming from. I am actually building myself a home in the middle of nowhere because of that. So I totally understand, and I can understand the frustration that they have. I do want to point out that this is a 108-acre piece of property. And we did a preliminary plan, a parallel plan at the beginning, showing how many lots we could get on this piece of property using the exact zoning ordinance, meeting everything, having all of the requirements set forth on a standard development, and we were able to get this many lots on it. That's why the PUD allows this many lots along the lake, because we did cluster option, doing the exact same amount of lots allowed for the parallel plan on this PUD cluster plan. The intent was not to overdevelop the property. I realize that 70-foot wide lots along the lake looks like a lot. However, if the whole subdivision was allowed to use a lake, they have the exact same situation. If they were to have done a standard subdivision, which wouldn't have required PUD approval, it would have been approved by right. So I just wanted to put that out there, that this is not being overdeveloped. The density is not more than what the ordinance allows. It's just clustered together along the lake rather than over the entire property. The question of lot percent coverage, when you shrink down a lot from a 2-acre lot to a 12,000 square foot lot, you need additional lot coverage area. On a 2-acre lot, you could put a 22,000 square foot home on that and meet the 25% requirement. 25% on a 12,000 square foot lot only leaves for 4,500 square feet for a garage and the home. That is very small. That would definitely not meet the overall look or feel or elegance of this subdivision that he is looking to do. You'd have a lot of very small lots on the lake, and that's not really the intent. The intent is to have estate homes, lake homes, and clustering them around the lake so everybody could have lake frontage, so that there wasn't some homes that are more valuable than others. He is, obviously, the remaining of the property, which is 78% of the 180 acres, is being completely set aside without being able to be developed ever. Obviously, pickleball courts are not an option unless he goes back and gets full approval for pickleball courts before you, because they are not part of the previous approval. He knows that. He knows that he can't just put pickleball courts in without getting approval from you as part of the PUD and the township board. So I just wanted to make sure that Mr. Schroeder has been a pleasure to work with. He has, every single time he has been told he has to do something, he said, do it. I've appreciated working with him. It's one of my unusual clients that actually wants to do what's best for the subdivision versus what's cheapest. Very unusual for a builder. But I'm happy to answer any questions you may have, engineering questions. I heard there was some concerns about the sanitary sewer location within the road. There is a high point along the entire frontage of the houses that would prevent any type of failure within the sanitary sewer from going into the lake. It could not happen. It would obviously be discovered immediately because the sewer is going to be under pressure, so it would be very obvious if the sewer were to break, and it could not make it to the lake because of the high point at the houses. It would stay within the road, and it would have to be fixed immediately within the HOA per the master deed. I do believe that the road agreement on Kensington was emailed to the township. We will make sure that that gets to Rick Minor as soon as possible. I can do that actually for you tomorrow, or even tonight after I'm done speaking. But if you have any questions, I'd be happy to answer them for you.
Thank you. Is there anything else that you would like to add?
So if I may, again, Roger Myers, I'm legal counsel for Mr. Schroeder. I just want to briefly address the issue with regard to the review and approval of the master deed, including the bylaws and the Exhibit B drawings. I know this came up, and we talked about it briefly at the last meeting. When I was contacted by Mr. Schroeder, I reached out to Carol Rosati, the township attorney, to understand, because the documents had been submitted to the township, the draft set of the master deed and bylaws. There are no draft Exhibit B drawings because of where we are in the process. The Exhibit B drawings cannot be completed until there's a final site plan that's been approved by the township. So nonetheless, I reached out to Ms. Rosati regarding to find out to what extent these documents need to be submitted. She responded to me and I have the email, and I'm happy to submit it so you all have it, but she specifically said, with respect to the question, the master deed and bylaws do not have to be complete for the planning commission meeting Thursday. However, they must be reviewed and approved by our firm before they can be recorded. So when the issue was addressed at the last meeting, I kind of reiterated, what Ms. Rosati had explained to me. I know that there was a request by the planning commissioners to review the document nonetheless, and that's perfectly fine. And I did see in the packet Mr. Minor's letter with his comments as far as things he would like to see added to the master deed, including the fact that the Exhibit B drawings were not included and need to be provided. We certainly understand that. It's really just a timing issue. So our request is that the recommendation for approval be granted. It go to the township board. The township board approves the final site plan. At that point, we'll know exactly what needs to be included in the Exhibit B drawings. We can address the issues that were raised in Mr. Minor's review for additions or modifications to the master deed itself or the bylaws. Once that's all finalized at that point, consistent with Ms. Rosati's letter, we'll submit it. Their office, Mr. Minor, whomever, will review it to ensure that it conforms with the approval, at which point it'll get recorded. So I just want to make sure we're on the same page as far as the sequence. I do, if you want it, I have Ms. Rosati's email, but I just read from her email regarding that issue. So I just want to make sure we're on the same page. Happy to answer any questions anyone has regarding that issue.
Thank you. Anything more? That being said, we've been over this extensively. So, fellow commissioners, do we have questions, or is a motion in order?
I have no questions, and I'm willing to make a motion.
Sarah?
No questions.
Doug? Go ahead, Mike.
I'd like to make a motion to recommend to the Township Board of Trustees denial of the final PUD site plan for Dove Lake on parcel 4716-13-200-017 because the plan is inconsistent with the approved preliminary PUD site plan due to the 40% lot coverage.
Support?
We have support. Roll call vote, please, Kelly.
Doug Neal?
Aye.
Larry Marshall?
Yes.
Christopher Popper?
Yes.
Sarah Pasal?
Yes.
Michael Sutton?
Yes.
Motion carries. Basically, you changed it all from 25% lot coverage to 40%. This is a different PUD. So, thanks for your time.
It changed.
We'll get
What
back.
time was it changed, was it? Did you change the time?
The plan, you had me change it to a 40% lot coverage on this one.
On to reports, item 8. That's chairman's report, I have
So
nothing.
that.
Township Board Representative, Mr. Sedlin.
No report this evening.
Zoning Board of Appeals.
What's that?
Fortunately, I was out of town on Tuesday, but
We had 4 cases on the agenda. One didn't show up. The first one was for a garage. It was approved. A second one was, they didn't show up, and that was also for a garage. The third one was for a land division. It was denied. And the fourth one was for a fence, and it was approved. So based on the ZBA cases that have been coming in front of the board, I think we need to look at 38-171, detached accessory structures, and make some modifications because the majority of the cases that I'm seeing at the ZBA are for larger than 50% of the total
Lot.
area.
lot coverage.
Lot
So,
coverage. So something for us to look into in the ordinances.
yes, so I'll be bringing that in front of you.
Okay.
Lot coverage.
Planning consultant.
Oh, wait,
Oh, I'm sorry.
I'm sorry.
I'm
I was
sorry,
putting-
she was
I
in
had
the
my
middle of your
hand
statement.
pinned up.
Okay,
I
I
was
thought you-
just-
okay.
I was just gonna go on what Deb was saying, that yes, for the last 2, maybe 3 years, it's been garages and they want giant pole barns on a tiny lot. You know, so we really
So we need
need,
to come to some
we really
consistency
need
about
to
what
address that
size the
because
lot
that has
should
been a
be.
majority of, and fences have been a big issue too, but not as big as lot size.
Okay.
And,
Well, a couple things to go into. If it's a main item
It's
that's,
not the lot size that's
Well,
the
that's
issue,
right.
it's the
It's-
size of
that's
the
a-
home.
right.
So we only allow 50% of the total floor area if it's under
So you
2
could have a
acres.
giant area of land with a little house, so you can only have a little additional shed or something.
oh, I see.
I've run into that very problem twice.
You have.
I had 10 acres, and the house was 2,000 square feet, and so it would allow me a 1,000 square foot building, and on 10 acres,
That's not much. Yeah.
no, fortunately, they changed the laws on large parcels, and I was able to build the sizes that I want. But even, I was before the zoning board of appeals for my current home, which I have 5 lots. And yet, because the house is 1,000 square feet on the ground floor, 2,000 total, again, I had to go back before the zoning board of appeal to get an exception, if you will, to build a
Shed.
30 by 48 garage.
Which is 1,200 square feet.
Yeah.
So, okay.
It was-
Understood.
What was the section number in the zoning
It was
ordinance?
38-171.
Get Larry on
Yeah.
38171.
38-171.
Larry,
Some reading for tonight.
sick 'em.
Oh, yay.
38171.
So
Okay.
I just wanted to
My
reiterate
thoughts
that.
on this, if you're interested in hearing, I think we need to think about a progressive lot size or building size based on the actual lot size. We certainly don't want somebody coming in with a lakefront lot asking to put a large building on it. And I think the restriction goes away at 5 acres. Is that what it does?
No, 10 acres.
10 acres, okay. But we need to think about
There's some gradient in the middle of
some
that.
gradient in the middle. If you have an acre or above, I think, that
Sure.
have at it. Build what you want, within reason. But if you're on smaller lots, you have to think about, I have a 2,000 square foot house, which is it's not big, but it's not small either. And I got a 5,000 square foot building, maybe that's not.
It's big, your garage is bigger than the house. Yeah.
I think
Well,
we
it's
need to
okay to
look
have
at
a
it.
garage bigger than a house.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean,
If you got a lot of land,
I agree.
you have a lot of land.
yeah. If you have our
That's how I
lots,
like
you
it.
can't.
I
you
mean, I
can't-
had,
Right.
yeah, there was 9,000 square foot of building on a property that I owned in the past.
Yeah,
So,
Okay.
Yeah, you do have a graduated system for the number of accessory units.
number but not size.
But not size,
And
yeah.
I think
So
that's what we have to.
so I think a discussion of what the real
Unnecessarily causing
intent,
people
yeah.
to go before the Board of Appeals.
And have you consistently been granting those appeals, or is it
no,
all?
I've been consistently denying.
No, you've been consistently denying. I will state that all of them have made it through. So,
You know, you're right.
yeah, so Sarah
Sir, you
has-
voted yes on mine.
I did.
All right, now we're getting to the bottom of this.
No, the reason I vote
I love these
consistently,
discussions. Yeah.
consistently no is
You're
because that is the
consistent.
law.
Okay.
Understood.
Fair enough.
That is the way it's supposed to be. I would like to see a change too, so people
So-
can get more of what they want.
So you can say yes once in a while.
Oh, exactly.
All right. Paul, do you have anything further to
I
add?
have nothing else to add, thank you.
Thank you for your time today. Correspondence, Deborah?
I gave them to you.
You gave us what
Yeah.
you had. Call to the public on any item that you'd wish to speak about.
No questions, right? I asked last time.
Well, we don't typically answer questions off the cuff.
I'll wait till after.
Then, that being said, if there is none, we'll adjourn this meeting. Thank you, everyone.
Oh, it was good.